It has been a week of celebrating something new. We have challenged Studio 5 contributors to take one source of inspiration and use it to create something new. One idea sort of leads to another, right?
Yeah, we're seeing what we can do to inspire people. So on Monday, Amy Daly turned some old sewing patterns into something new.
She created an entire party-themed tribute to her mother and her grandmother and called it Patterned After You.
Of course, that was on Monday. Then on Tuesday, Easter eggs got dressed up as something new. Megan Pyra, she wanted to create a wrought iron Easter egg tree of her own, a new, less expensive spin on Pottery Barn centerpiece. Wednesday, doilies, trash cans, and Granny's needlework became new again for home decor. Tristan Lloyd from Chickaboom even put old-fashioned purses on the wall as organizers.
And yesterday, Tasha Hoyt used a non-traditional color palette of bright, bold colors to cheer up her craft room.
And today, the inspiration comes from the store where everyone loves to window shop. You just drool, you go in there, you go in there, you wish you were that cool to be in a store like that.
I do, I don't really fit in that store, actually. I don't feel cool enough.
Anthropologie, you know what we're talking about. You've been to Anthropologie, you stopped at their window display and their cabinet hardware. It's all this unusual, colorful knobs, drawer pulls of every kind. It's just funky and full of character.
Looks like it's been like pulled out of a yard sale or an old house or something. Very cool. Well, Studio 5 contributor Christine McKay saw those and said, well, here's something new, and you can make them yourself. I don't know if I'm a skeptic, you know, I'm not sure if I could make it myself. I'm not really that crafty.
I know you. I don't know if you could either. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm really not that crafty. I try really hard, but I don't know.
You know, it was funny that you gave me Anthropologie as my inspiration, because whenever I get what I call crafter's block, that is always the first place I go. I make sure I don't bring my credit card, but because then I get in trouble. But I love it because there are so many things there for inspiration, and the knobs are among my favorite. Absolutely love them. So originally, one of the...
This is the picture we gave to you, right? This is it with some of the knobs and stuff?
This was one of the pictures, and there was another picture that kind of had that same rustic box that what I loved is I loved the mixing with the really kind of the old, and then the knobs just kind of threw in a little bit of bling and a little bit of glam, and I liked really mixing those two together. So I was inspired by the box. So the first thing so this is a project that I actually ended up making. The box that they kind of had was like an old crate that had like lettering and stuff on the side. Ooh. So of course I went to my favorite secondhand like kind of vintage store, and they had some amazing boxes. And really they weren't that bad of a price. They were between $20 and $40. But I thought, can I do this for a little less money? So of course, you know me, I'm kind of cheap.
I love about you.
Thrifty. I prefer thrifty, not cheap.
So exactly. So I ran over to Michael's craft store, and they actually had a box there. And this was the lid, and this right here was the base. $5 for both.
Wait, this is part of that? This isn't an old antique one for $40?
No, this was $5. This is the lid, the original lid for it. And I'll tell you how I distressed it to make it old. I love crafts that are easy and that anybody can do.
I'm still staring at this. I don't believe this is old.
I know.
Do you ever have stress, Darren? You know, ever give you stress? This is a perfect project for stress. Because really, I just took it and I took my screwdriver and I was like, the kids missed the bus, and you know, and I just totally went to town. And then I just took basically some gray paint, and I painted the whole thing with gray paint, and then I took a wet washcloth and wiped it all off. And you just have to work with it and sand it, redo a few spots, and there you go. You have what looks like an old vintage piece.
What about the numbers?
Then I just used my electronic cutter to create some stencils, stenciled it on just some black paint, and then once again took out some more aggression. I got to cook dinner tonight, and just sanded it down, and there you go.
I don't know if you can see the other side has these cool numbers on that. So it looks like it was made in 1847. I wouldn't have known any better.
$5. And actually, I mean, it's a 2-for-1, because really you could recreate this project with the lid as well. So really good deal. Now, as far as the knobs, oh my gosh, I could have done probably an hour-long segment on this, because, you know, I'm kind of like the MacGyver of crafting, only maybe not quite as talented.
Not with duct tape.
So
maybe sometimes it's duct tape.
So Anthropologie, their knobs are gorgeous, but they're anywhere from like $16 to up to like $35, $40 a knob, okay? So what I did is I found a knob that I really liked, and I decided to see if I could recreate it. And I actually did. Now here's the thing, if you are just going to buy 1 or 2 knobs, you're probably better off to just purchase, you know, the $30, $40 knob. But if you really want to take it into your home decor and use it on dressers, drawers, put it on projects like this, you could even take a plaque like this and put the knobs all the way across. You can purchase it's called Mold and Mix. It is $12. Mix and mold, thank you.
There you go.
dyslexic. I'm dyslexic MacGyver. So you can, it's $12, and then it's this clear liquid plastic. And this one's a little pricey. It's $21, but I always shop at Hobby Lobby when it's 50% off. And so you take this and you mix the molding component. You dip the knob down in it. It's still kind of wet. You mix it, put it down in there until it molds kind of in there. It takes about, like, probably a day. And then you pull it out, and there you go. You have a mold. And then the next thing that you do...
Wait, how did, because this is smaller, how did you pull it out?
You know what? Do you see my little knife marks there, Darren?
You cut it over the mold?
Because it's really rubbery when it's still wet. And so I just kind of cut some slits, took the knob out. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is you take the liquid plastic and you mix it according to the instructions, and you pour it in there. And I forgot to mention, you want to have it in a paper cup so it holds its shape. So you pour the liquid plastic in there, and then look what you come up with. I actually made this.
Okay, my mind is swirling right now. I cannot believe you made that.
And I'm kind of silly because I could have bought a $20 knob, and instead I went through all this work. But the thing is, think of all the possibilities. And if you're going to make a lot of them, you can buy tinting colors that tint it. It does not look like the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks just. I mean, is that amazing or what?
How do you get the hole though to screw this?
You know what? The drill will just screw right into the back.
Really?
And for instance, for this project, I cut the backs off because I didn't want all of the things, the stems coming off. And so for a lot of craft projects, you'll cut the back off anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm amazed,
honestly.
Somebody doing this.
I was almost embarrassed to share this because I'm like, okay, is this really going over the top? But I just love figuring out how things are made and to be able to incorporate it into your crafting projects.
If you had an old dress or whatever, an antique kind of thing, you want to have the same look, and you needed 20 pulls, you're going to be far better off making the mold and just making them yourself.
Completely. And to be honest, you could use more than just drawer pulls. You could use almost anything to recreate in that molding structure in the liquid plastic. It's just endless.
What if you wanted to do the color? I mean, is there a way to do this certain color?
They have dyes that you can just, a couple drops and it tints it, and you can make it any color that you want. Now, if you want something a little easier that's more cost effective, you can go to any hardware store and buy the wooden knobs. You can get them for 99 cents or less. And you'll see, for instance, right here, the yellow and black knob that has, I think, the numbers on it. I actually copied that right from Anthropologie. So it was so funny that you showed it in the
I saw it on the photo. I thought, I realized you'd gotten it from there, but you didn't. You made that?
I made it. So the one from Anthropologie, I think it was 16, and this one I made for 99 cents. So I'm a cheater. But so basically, I mean, you just do the, I used a piece of masking tape to separate the white and the yellow, and then I just used some rub-ons to create the numbers. Yep. And there you go. And then Krylon makes a great finishing spray. It's called Triple Thick Glaze by Krylon, and you can spray the wooden knobs with it, and it looks like it's ceramic or enamel.
How cool would this be to put jewelry or necklaces or bracelets or something on? I think that's
so fun. Your mind is still going, isn't it?
I know. I'm thinking, what can I do now? It's sort of a newfound hobby here, making cabinet knobs or something.
Cool.
But anyway, so I think it's really fun to take something that, from inspiration. And if you ever get that crafter's block, Anthropologie is a great place. But just really take, look at something that you love, and you can think of all sorts of different ways to use it. So.
And if you can't figure out how to use it, she'll figure it out for you.
Yeah. Of course, if you'd like more information, you can check out kmckdesigns.com for detailed instructions. And of course, we'll have a link from our website as well, so you can go there and find out all the great, brilliant ideas. Thanks for staying.